Hi, this is James Druin. I'm doing the product demo for Raxa Inc. I'm joined by my teammates Mark Calling and Ali Ansari.
Hi, my name is Mark. I did the music and art for this project.
And my name's Ali. I did a lot of the programming related to the gameplay.
Alright, and we decided to do our project. We made a Unity game called Raza's Realm, as you can see. It's kind of a top-down shooter-style game with survival-based, round-based enemy spawning. So I'll just jump right in here, hit the start button. So this, you can see, is our hub world that we start out in. You start out with just a basic pistol. This is where you can customize your character and just kind of learn about the game a little bit. So I'll show that right now. This is our customization station. This is the base hat that you start out with, but you can switch to all different kinds. Suit your liking. You can rotate the model. Go with this one. So, welcome to Raza's Realm. Enter the purple portal to begin. So this is our level select area. You can see the first level is unlocked and the other two are currently locked. You can unlock those with money once you collect it. I'm gonna hop into the first level here. So this is the button to start the first wave, so I'll do that right now, and I'll buy myself a gun. And I'll show some of the gameplay while Mark talks about some of the art.
So early on we knew we didn't want to use any existing artwork, so everything was made from scratch for this project. The levels specifically, they're made out of individual pieces, so there's a corner piece, an edge piece. Straight away, the door is made out of two separate parts, the actual frame of the door and the physical door itself. The pit is made out of maybe 4 corner pieces. And we did this, one, so that we could reuse assets, but then also it made level creation a lot more easier. James and Ali didn't need to talk to me about changing level geometry. If they wanted level changes, they could actually just go in, move a couple pieces around, and just test the game immediately. We also had to ensure that the level art wasn't too detailed. As you can see, like, the floor has a little bit of detail, but nothing too much. I tried a couple versions that were a lot more detailed, more design work, but it made the game a lot harder to focus on. And I feel like I got a kind of a nice medium between detail and simplicity.
Yeah, and these amazing animations that we have are also courtesy of Mark.
The slime is definitely my favorite with it flopping about.
And we have all different kinds of guns you can buy. So I started out with the machine gun. I'm just gonna buy the shotgun here. It's a more of a close range, slow reloading gun. So it's powerful up close, but has some drawbacks to it. Ali, did you want to talk about the scope system and the damage?
As you can see, like, while James is playing, he's sometimes zooming in and he's slowing down a bit. When he does this, he even though his movement speed is reduced, his damage gets increased. So it's kind of like a high risk, high reward system that we have going here. And also, if you notice, we have blood splatters and damage numbers. We spent a lot of time trying to get the visual feedback right for the game, and we feel like the system we have right now adds a lot more oomph to the bullets, and especially with the damage numbers, you can see especially like what type of damage you're doing and stuff like that. And the weapon system in the door you see on the right, that's actually viable. We did this because, like, we want our game to be inspired by, like, big games like Binding of Isaac and Call of Duty Zombies, as you can see evidenced by, like, the guns that are available in the power-ups. What else?
Yep, so you can see that I just bought the door into the second room. So this unlocks the second area, as well as unlocks more enemy spawns. So once I start the next wave, you'll see that more enemies are spawning in this room as well. I'm going to go ahead and buy the flamethrower here, so you can see that as well. We have a nice little flame animation there. Ali also put together a nice pause menu, so you can see when you pause. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, Ali?
You'd usually pull this up when you feel overwhelmed and you want to just take a step back from the game. There's also another option here called menu, and it takes you back to the hub. But I don't think James doesn't want to press that right now.
Yep. So just gonna go through a couple waves here. On wave 5, we're gonna have a boss spawning. That's the mechanism that we have for completing the level and going back to the hub. So you'll see that in just a minute. You can, however, just keep playing for as long as you want to try to go for wave high scores. So there's kind of 2 different ways you can play. You can try to survive as long as you can, or you can try to clear the level in as minimum amount of waves as you can. So you'll see that in just a moment. As you can see, there's also item drops that drop randomly from the enemies to kind of help you on your survival. There's the ammo box, the coin, as well as the jam jar that restores your health. See that in just a moment. So, gonna be heading into wave 5 here. This is where the boss monster is gonna spawn. You can see him over here. He's got his own health bar. You know he's a boss because he's big. So like I said, he's going to drop the key to the exit. So if, assuming I survive here, I'll show you that. Mark, maybe you want to talk about the music a little bit?
Oh yeah, so like I said, we wanted to make sure we weren't reusing too many assets from other projects, so all the music is original as well. We've got about 4 different themes, actually no 5. We have a menu theme that plays during the start menu. Then we have hub music that plays right up until the point you click the start round. We have level music that you can hear right now. We have a death theme, which we probably won't be hearing, and a victory theme that you hear once you complete the level. Music was kind of hard just because early on we were still trying to play around with tone. We weren't sure if we were going to go hyper-realistic, if we were going to go cartoony. We ended up going fairly cartoony with our art direction, so the theme took a couple days to kind of nail down the tone, the instruments that were used, but once the level theme was kind of completed, everything else kind of fell in place as a lot of the existing kind of motifs with the music kind of carried on over with the hub music and then the menu music.
Yeah, as well as the sound effects really made it feel more complete as well. So you can see that I just picked up the key there, so that opens up the exit to the level. So I'm going to try to make my way over there. Here's just a sec. You can see that as the waves go on, more and more enemies spawn in, so it's kind of a risk to stay longer than you have to. So I'm going to try to get my way out of here. Oh, and okay, I survive. That's okay. And this is a key door, so it requires the key, and I access the exit portal. It plays a little nice victory jingle, and then back at the hub world. And you can see the highest wave count here updates. You can keep track of your high scores, compete with your friends, and you'll see if I go back into here, I have enough money to unlock the second portal. So I'll do that right now. And you can see now that the second level is unlocked, so you can progress through the game and eventually unlock the third one. And then if you want to start over, you can always go right here, press this button, and your progress resets. So you can replay as much as you want. So yeah, that's going to be it for the game demo, and then we're going to talk about some of the art and how it developed over time in just a second.
Alright, so now we're going to look at some of the concepts and artwork that we did to kind of make the models for the game. So the first image here is kind of like the 6 different steps, 6 different iterations of the player model. Early on, like Ali had said, one of our inspirations was Binding of Isaac. So like the first illustration in the top left has like a large head. And like I had said earlier, we had kind of played around with tone. So the bottom left is a little bit more human proportions. The bottom middle has a little bit more of like a Mario-esque art style. But the bottom right, we definitely wanted to kind of stick with that more simplistic Binding of Isaac style look. And
yeah, the cube head definitely ended up being an iconic look that we went with.
Yeah, and then we also played with kind of like different heads and stuff. which would be like replace the square head, but yeah, we wanted something very simplistic.
Yeah, so these were your original concept sketches, and then that kind of evolved into a model.
To this thing. So here you're not actually seeing the head. As you saw in the demo, the head can be switched and swapped around, but when I modeled it, you don't see the head. We ended up not going with this design. This was, I think, the third iteration of it, mainly because it looked a little bit like Fall Guys, but also it was like way too detailed. As you can see, there's way too many wrinkles on it. We did that because when you bake the model to a lower poly model, the detail kind of lessens, so you kind of have to exaggerate it. So that's kind of why you see all these wrinkles, but it was a little unsettling, and it looked a little bit too much like Fall Guys.
So
yeah,
you guys saw our final model when we were doing the game demo. So we'll go into some of the monsters now. So this was our first Mark's first concept art sketch for the monsters.
Yeah, so like originally I was thinking of doing kind of a tier level. So like level 1 would be a slime, and then it kind of evolves into like that lizard. We ended up not using that idea, and we only used the top left for the slime, top right for the lizard, and then the bottom middle for what originally was just a guy running around with like a horned helmet, turned into kind of like this like warthog looking creature. But originally we were going to go with kind of this more tiered look with the enemies.
Yep. Then you got some color.
And this is the kind of final design for the lizard. This is kind of like a mock-up for proportions. There's the front view and the side view. Just kind of getting the basic shapes of it before it goes into modeling. And with the modeling, like I said, everything was done from scratch. So this is like the 3 different steps. The farthest left is kind of like the blocked out shapes. Then I would go in and sculpt in all the detail. It may look like just a solid model, but if you look on the forehead, he's actually, like, that's a wireframe model of the character, and he's in like the billions of polygons. So then the far right is a model that's a little bit more friendly for the engine. It loads way faster compared to like a couple billion. It's like maybe 200, maybe 300. And also I could focus on the joints of the character just to give it a little bit better animation. I'm not sure if you can kind of see it, but like in the joints, there's a little bit more higher concentration of polygons.
Yeah.
And
so once you had those wireframes, then the next step was to get the textures going, right?
Yes. So like the high polygon model has all the detail, and this is for like the little lizards, and you can see all of like the kind of design work on the back, and that all gets it's a process called baking, where the textures, and it's called a normal map. It's kind of it's a detail of the model. It gets baked onto the lower polygon model, so you kind of retain all that detail, but you're using a model that won't crash the engine. So that was the lizard. This one's for like the large red monsters. We ended up calling them Fants. And then the last one is just kind of like the slime, I think.
Yeah, I don't have the slime, but those are the two, the lizard and the
Yeah.
Fant, the elephant type creature there.
Yeah.
And then this was the final, right?
Yeah, so like you can see like on the far left is the blocked out model, and then the middle is the high polygon model where everything's been painted onto that model. And on the right is the lower polygon model, but because all of the detail and the textures have been baked in, you don't see too much of a difference. It's a little bit darker, but that's just because of the way I've rendered this image out. But you don't really see too much of a difference, but you're also saving render power. So that's kind of the art for it. I'm not sure if you have anything you want to add, James.
No, I just want to show the contrast between the original sketches and then all the work that you put in. Eventually, this is the final product. So that's pretty amazing to me, at least.
Yeah, no, we went through a lot of iterations. I would spend maybe like 10 minutes a day just kind of sketching things out and just trying to get the tone of the game right.
Yeah, I think it turned out great.
Okay, this was our product. We hope you enjoyed watching the video. We're definitely thinking of continuing development in the future. It's not just like a one-off thing that we did for this course. So maybe one day you'll see it in the App Store, and if you do, make sure to give it a download. Thank you for watching.